Thank you for stopping by and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll be going on to the Toronto Blue Jays production tour. Right now, we're waiting for the elevator to take us to the third floor to the video control room.
Are working right now with press, so they've got to get all those screens and stuff ready. So you just want to be respectful of the fact that they're all working. So try and keep side conversations to a minimum.
Thank you. Hello, so what we have in here is like working control room. So we're working around that a bit. The upside is you'll get to see an actual control room working. The downside is you may have to kind of like do a little shifting. But with that said, come on in and I'll tell you all about it.
Copy that.
Is that everybody? Great. So this is video board control. Most of the screens that we have out there, obviously the most notably our big screen and outfield there, are controlled from this room. This room is essentially a television, works the same as every television broadcast. Just drive downstairs, it's the same equipment, the same skill sets, and largely the same people. We're all freelance, so we all move around a bit, so we can often do broadcasts as well. Essentially, this is exactly the same as the truck downstairs, except this room doesn't have any wheels on it. Other than that, same thing. So my plan is today is I'm going to go through all of the positions, kind of describe how the sausage is made, and we'll talk about what each does. So we'll go through how all that happens, and then when that's done, we'll go to the audio room and we'll talk a bit about some of the fun things that happen on there. So with that said, let's start down here with our video position. We were hoping to get a professional, but Brock was available. So what is the video position? The video position is when we turn our cameras on in the morning, the cameras all look great, but they also need to look the same sort of great, right? So what I mean by that is if when we're shooting, if we go from camera 1 to camera 4, camera 3 to camera 2, they have to be seeing the colors in exactly the same way, right? So if you're looking at them individually, you may not notice much of a difference, but when you're watching at home or obviously here, when we cut to those different cameras, if there's a shift in the way those colors appear, it will be immediately noticeable too, and it'll feel like we're shooting in a whole different space. So what Brock does here is he teaches all of those cameras to see through the same eye, so that it comes off as seamless at home. In addition, what Brock does, especially when we have the roof open, is he takes some of the weight off of our camera people in order to ride iris and deal with changing conditions. So we might start a game during the day and then end at night, right? So at night we'll have turned on the lights and we have artificial light coming in, but we started with natural light. That requires a full new setup on all the cameras, and it's Brock that does that. So if you don't see it at home, it's because Brock's quick and good at what he does, despite what I've just said about him. In addition to that, the intensity of said light is different. So if clouds roll in and cover up the sun, then everything goes black. Well, it's Brock here that makes sure that you're always seeing as much as you possibly can. In addition, from here, we also have our robotic cams. We have one in each of our bullpens, and then one way up in the roof, 31 stories up.
Oh, jeez.
So do know that you are never alone in this building.
Is that how you shoot the CN Tower people?
Sometimes we shoot it from there, yeah, mostly. Yep.
Yeah, from
There we go.
high third.
Right, in high third. Right. So yeah, so that's how that works. So we'll move over here next to our server position. This is our server position. Our server position basically runs all of the commercial material, anything that's been pre-produced, right? So branded content, commercial material, that sort of thing. It all comes out of here. Now of note, in Canada, we give our machines, or we still call it tape. We haven't used tape in a very long time, but we give them colors as designations, and we give cameras numbers as designations. This is to make sure that we don't call, tape 1 and camera 1 and get that confused and roll the wrong thing. So that's why you're seeing colors up here. And then down here you'll also see more colors, red and blue. Those are EBS machines. What an EBS machine is, and BJ's running one now, it's also what I do during the year. Shockingly, I'm not a professional tour guide, if that's not clear yet. It will be. So what an EBS essentially does is you all have sort of a PVR type thing at home. So what, it's like having 4 PVRs, each recording an isolated camera stream. So whenever there's a hit or a double or play of any sort, we can roll back 4 here and another 4 here, and 8 cameras back to a point in time, and then immediately get those replays out in kind of 3 to 5 seconds. Then we'll clip those off and build them into packs going for their next at bat or going to break or something like that. So whenever you see on television or here at the game an edited pack of something that just happened, it's because the EBS does really simple editing, really fast. So what might take 40 minutes in a traditional edit suite like we have back there, we can do in about 90 seconds. We just can't do the really special stuff. So it's, I describe it as editing for people that need immediate gratification, which I guess is me. So I'm going to come around and we'll talk about what Mr. John Draper is doing over there. John is our switcher, John Draper here. And the switcher is our last point for all of these different inputs that I've been talking about. The cameras, the various machines here, red, blue, yellow, pink. Normally we'll have a graphics machine up there. All of those things run into our switcher. And what Mr. Draper does is he puts them together so that they are to go into the board. It's our last chance to kind of look at any of that stuff before it's out there. And so it's not just a matter of kind of bringing up said camera. What also John is doing is, say we've got a shot of Bichette in the outfield, but we want some of the stats up over here, so we'll bring up the graphics over there, and then I'll bring up another graphic with his name key underneath, and then maybe he wants to switch a camera to a different look of that behind. So all of those things are happening at once and are built in layers here, and you can add and remove as needed. Now, while John is very good with his hands, he is less good with his brain. So we have kind of our television capability here. Again, if we think of this as a restaurant, this is our director or head chef, and Steph is our producer, which is basically like she owns the restaurant. So what Dan does, he is the guy kind of keeping an eye on the general minutia of the show. He calls the show, so nothing happens out there without Dan calling it first. So if there's a hit and you see a replay right away, it's because Dan has assessed what is coming out of these machines and chosen what he wants to see. So he will then call for that and then bring in whatever name keys he wants or whatever else. Every tiny shot that goes into the show is considered, planned, and put together by Dan. Now, Dan's direction comes from Steph, who has put together the overall look and is responsible for all the things that are not directly, she's responsible for everything directly there as well, but also all the other things, where the J-Force is, and the overall experience that you have when you're really building. So if you like any of that stuff, Steph's super good at her job. Now, it occurred to us that while we're all television people here, we work in baseball, and maybe somebody should cover that. So we found a baseball nerd. He's over here. Stand up, you're big and tall. There we go. This is Paul, he's our big and tall baseball nerd. There, yeah, take a picture of Paul, baseball nerd. There we go. Tighten up here. So, what Paul does for us is he keeps compiling our stats, right? So when you're watching the game, and because baseball is such a stats-driven sport, all the stats that you're seeing out there at any given time are up to the second because Paul is updating and inputting that information. So when the pitch comes in, it's Paul that assesses what type of pitch it was, the speed it was coming in, and then he puts that into the machine. And that's what goes out. So that is updated at all times. Is that sound reasonable? Yeah. All right, look at that. Paul and I played fantasy baseball together. I feel it's important to mention this. Paul, can you tell us who won last year?
You won.
I did win.
Small sample size, but
yeah, I won. So I out-baseballed the baseball nerd. So you could ask him. You could save some time and just ask me. Having said that, here's what we're going to do. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the audio room. The audio room is small because audio guys don't like to move around a lot, so we keep it tight. So I'll bring you in there in kind of 2 groups. Here with John Arruda and our mixer position. John takes it in the same way that John Draper over there with the switcher took in all of those different inputs and then built them into something to go out. The same thing happens here, but with sound, with John Arruda. So that's what that happens. Also, with John is responsible for putting up all of those kind of fun prompts that you hear throughout the game. Push that, there you go. Push number 1. So all baseball sounds are on a one button. So John has been working in radio with us for a very long time, and so he's very competent. And I know you're looking at me thinking, sure, Rob, he's competent, but is he cool or relevant? And the answer is clearly no. So we found someone that is. This is Jed Harper. He's our DJ, a fully accredited DJ. He went to the school of DJ, and that's what he does. Yeah. And so, being a DJ for the Jays is a little tougher than doing it in a nightclub in some respects. The main point is that Blue Jays fans are 10 years old. They're 108 years old. They're from the city. They're from the country. They're from all sorts of different backgrounds. And so, creating a music mix that everyone's going to kind of be able to live with or maybe enjoy is a tricky thing. So that's where that happens. And then my favorite part of this room, and maybe the whole tour, is this contraption here. It doesn't look impressive, but it is the home run horn. The home run horn is not a sound effect. It's an actual ship's horn from like a tanker or something. And it's 31 stories up, very apex of the building. You can see it up there. It's massive. And we have a lock on it, like a nuke, so that I can't push it. Because it very, very much would like to push it and can't. I believe it's locked now. I'm not going to test that theory. Everyone asks me, well, can we check? No, can't check, because I still need money. I should say that players do pick their own walk-up music, and that is edited by Jed here. If needed. Well, almost always needed. It requires editing so that it can be played publicly. And often needs to be done a lot because baseball players are the most superstitious creatures on the planet, and sometimes they'll just keep changing their music till they hit a double, and that's what we deal with up here too.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, and hope to see you at our next video.